Cash, your name is God.
God.
Your word is God.
Nineveh.
B, yours is
Nineveh.
Nineveh. And Landon, yours is what?
Jonathan.
Jonah.
Jonah is his name.
What? Okay.
Hi.
Okay. All right, Cash. Cash, say your word. God.
God.
Say God.
God.
Told
Jonathan.
Jonah to go to the city of Nineveh and preach because the people were doing evil things. Jonah did not want to go to.
Nineveh.
So he chose to go to Tarshish instead. Tarshish is another place. Scoot up. Okay. Sit up, Cash. Sit up, Cash. B, sit down in your chair. Sit up in the chair, Cash. Okay, so I can see you. Okay, during the trip, God sent a terrible storm. Listen, the ship was about to sink and go down in this deep ocean. Now, you know there was nobody to come and get them, and it was dark. And the sailors were very afraid. Meanwhile,
Jonah
was asleep inside the ship. The captain woke
up. Jonah.
He woke Jonah and he said, "Why are you sleeping? Call to your God, and maybe he will save us." The men knew that
Jonathan.
Jonah.
Don't tell me.
Jonah.
Jonah.
I did it.
We all know you did it. Listen, the men knew that Jonah was not doing what
God.
Cash, look at me. Say your word. God wanted him to do. So they asked.
Jonah.
Don't say his word for him.
My name's Jonah.
They asked Jonah. See, they knew what was going on. They knew that God had told Jonah to go to Nineveh. And they knew, he said, I ain't going, I'm going to Tarshish.
Did you get my part
Right?
in the video?
Yes, I did. They asked Jonah. They said, what can we do to calm the sea? And Jonah told them, he said, just pick me up and throw me into the sea, and it will quiet the storm, into the ocean. The men didn't want to throw him in the sea, so they kept rowing. They didn't have motors on their boat. They was rowing with paddles. This was a little boat. That's why they were scared they were going to, fall out in the ocean. Because the waves were real big, and the poor little boat was just bouncing around. And they didn't want to throw him in the sea, so they kept rowing to get to the land.
Did you say this is the boat?
Yeah. The storm continued until finally the men said, let's throw Jonah into the sea. Then the storm stopped. The men prayed to, who the men prayed to? Jonah. They got Jonah to pray to Jonah's
God.
Cash, say your word. God. And promised to obey him. God protected Jonah and sent a huge fish to swallow him. Jonah stayed inside the fish for.
Wait, just remember it don't have a T or a R.
Okay, listen, Jonah stayed inside the fish for
3 days.
3 days and 3 nights. And then,
Jonah.
right, prayed to
God.
don't say his word. Huh? They prayed to who? God. And the fish spit
Jonah.
onto the dry land. Again,
Jonah.
no. What's your word? What's your word? Huh? You're not Jesus, you're...
God.
Okay. God told
Jonah.
to go to
Nineveh.
and preach to the people. This time,
Jonathan. Not Jonah.
It don't have a T in the end.
Oh, they don't have a team.
Jonah
Jonah.
got up and went to,
Nineveh.
and
Jonah.
Jonah walked around the city